What's up, traders? John Hell here. I'm going to do a bit of a market update in this video. And then also what I'm going to do is at the end of this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about, I'm going to be doing a bit of also a Q&A as well too. So I'm going to do two videos in one. Normally I do them separate, but I'm going to be doing two videos in one. And plus also at the very end of this video, I've got something pretty amazing to share with you that happens to do with silver. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video. Trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There is no guarantees of making money in the markets, and trading is the most hardest thing you will ever do, and it takes a long time to become a good trader. So this video is just educational only. If you're struggling with your trading right now, then click on the very first link in the description and get learn a free training, the 7 universal laws to become a master trader that will boost your success, consistency, and confidence without spending a decade trying to figure it out. Click on the very first link in the description right now. Alrighty, traders, so let's get straight into it. So let's actually get straight into today's session now. Now, one thing I want to share with you guys is this here. The very first thing that, and I truly believe a lot of people this is just my opinion, okay? A lot of people disagree with me in the chat box, you know what? And thank you so much for your interaction. I tell you what, I had that video said, I can't believe that I got this wrong, and I had a bit of a go at that guy. And in fact, guys, if you guys are watching that video where I was sort of having a bit of a go at that guy and Arnie or whatever his name was, that was actually, most of it was actually just fun. I wasn't cranky at him for putting me down and all that sort of stuff, and you were wrong and all that sort of stuff. I didn't really care. I was actually that was just me having a bit of a sarcasm fun with him, because if you watch that video, I'm saying, you know what, you're so good. I can't believe I got this wrong. You know what, I should stop this YouTube channel right now, and you should start your YouTube channel and I should just follow you because you're so good. You know what I mean? So that's essentially what the video was all about. But you know what? Thank you so much for the engagement, because that thing got more views in a week than a lot of my other market updates get. So you know what? Thank you so much for your feedback and all your comments. It's gotten a lot of views since. So anyway, before I just start that, guys, one thing I want to share with you guys that's really, really, really important to understand when viewing the markets also as well is sometimes we can view the short-term chart. Okay, now, when we view on the short-term chart, like the Dow Jones right now, the first thing I must say is when we're actually trading the markets, okay, when we trade the markets, we must go with something. There's a lot of different things that's happening there, right? Now, what I truly believe is the Dow Jones is the silent word of the bigger picture of what is likely to happen in the markets. The Dow Jones is the silent word of what is likely to happen in the markets. Now, what I mean by that, if you've got the Russell, you've got the indexes, you've got the S&P, you've got the Nasdaq, all flying up, but for some reason the Dow Jones is not as strong. It's showing a bit of weakness there. It's not getting as much volume. We're nowhere near as strong as the S&P. That's telling us something. And I recognize this more and more and more. And let me see if I can how far can I go back here on my chart? Let me see if I can go back to, say, can I go back to a 2-day? And I want to share with you guys where I first recognize this. All right, so I'm going to bring this chart over here. So this is obviously the Dow Jones, and let me go back over to here as well too, right? So I'm going to bring up, say, a 2-day chart here. So I'm going to bring up, this is a Dow Jones chart here, right? And then I'm going to bring up, say, a basic candlestick chart right here as well too, right? So this is a basic candlestick chart. I'm going to unsync this here, and I'm going to bring up, and just please bear with me for a minute, okay? I'm going to share with you the reason why I'm saying the Dow Jones is the silent word, or it's a bit of a leader. Maybe it's not leading the market around, but the Dow Jones is the silent killer, so to speak. Now, let's actually continue on here. Now, when we're looking at these markets here, okay, when we look at the markets and when we're trading these markets, the one thing that's so important, let me actually, now what I want to do is I want to bring up, say, the SP 500. All right, so then I'm going to bring up the 2-day chart here for a minute. The 2-day chart here. All right, so obviously to the left we have the Dow Jones. All right, now let's actually go back to, the time where, what do we have here? Go back to start of 2015. Let me go back here, 2-day chart. Let's go back to the start of 2015. All right, now I want to share with you this, and the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying in the markets right now. All right, so this is the start of 2015, And let me bring this down through here. All right, so let's have a look at this here. Now, if you have a look at the S&P, all right, so please bear with me for a minute, all right? If you have a look at what the S&P is doing, what is the S&P doing compared to the Dow Jones? So let's have a look at this here. So this high right up here is this high right here. Then the market came down, made a what? This is actually the Dow Jones made a slight lower low, where the S&P made a bit of a double bottom. Then it ran up to make a slight lower high. Then it ran up to make a slight lower high. Then it ran down to make a lower low. And this ran down to make a lower low. The Dow Jones continued to make another lower high. But the S&P made a what? A double top. Then the S&P came down and made a little higher low. But then the Dow Jones made a lower low. And look what happened. And then the market went sideways through here. But as this was happening, see this Dow Jones chart to the left? This Dow Jones chart to the left was making lower highs. And then we'll continue to go weak. And then bam, the market dropped. And then as you can see, bam, the market started to drop through there. That's why I say the Dow Jones is the silent killer. Is that if the Dow Jones starts to show a bit more weakness than the S&P, it's an alert, it's a warning sign that something is just not right. And one of the people actually put something on my video yesterday, I think it was, about what they think is that what's happening right now is a bit of a false rally, and they believe something's going to come out and dump this market. And I truly believe that as well too. Let's go back over to this one right here, right? And let's go back over to this one right here. So actually, you know what? This here was basically doing the exact same thing, and the S&P was making lower highs, lower lows. The market dropped. Lower highs, lower lows. The market dropped. So as you can see, right, the S&P and the Dow Jones pretty much go hand in hand. But when they start to do something different, like we saw just a minute ago, that's the reason why I say that the Dow Jones right now, as I speak, is showing a lot more weakness than the S&P right now, as I speak. And so therefore, once again, if I go back to, let me go back to this chart here and go back to not listed. Let's go back to the S&P 500. Go back to the day chart. As you can see, right, even though the S&P is basically making a bit of a double top right now, look what the Dow Jones is. The Dow Jones, if this Dow Jones starts to roll over and we start to get a lot more downward movement, it's telling us a lot more downside is likely to come. In fact, right now, it's still showing a lot more weakness than the S&P 500. And that's the reason why I say what I say about the markets and markets in general. So, with that being said, all right, that's what I wanted to share with you guys with the market there. And what I see happening with the markets. I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, we have the Dow Jones, we have the S&P, and this is the Nasdaq's making all-time new highs. But isn't it interesting? Look at this bit of a gap up through here. All right, we've been rallying up, and then bam, gap up and a run. Is this going to be a bit of a false breakout on the Nasdaq? Yet to be seen, right? And the same for the S&P. We actually had a bit of a gap here as well too. And as you can see, if you look past in the chart, very rarely do you see any large gaps like this. So as you can see, just gaps like that, very large gaps hardly ever happen through there. So this one actually happened here. This one here happened and it didn't get filled. So maybe that's running up through there. So that's what I do see there, guys, looking at the markets and looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And that's the reason why I say, and I've said in the videos in the past, that's why I believe the Dow Jones is the silent word in there. Now, what I want to do now is, let me bring up, oh, it's not moving. There it is there. What I want to bring up with you guys, I want to share an image with you that I shared with you with my private clients, but I want to share it with you guys here as well too. Look at this here. All right, look at this here. Now, what I want to share with you, look at this. This is the silver chart. I took this yesterday, so it's basically one day. It's basically still the same today. But I want to share something with you with silver. It's really interesting. I actually bought some call options on silver now that last for a bit over a month, about a month and a half. And it's really interesting to see what happened. This is the Commitment of Traders report. So you got the COT here, and obviously the red line. The red line is basically the large traders. And as you can see, right, when this point right here is obviously 0. So when the red gets almost down to this 0 line, which is basically saying their shorts are basically 0, look what happens to the price action. It just absolutely what? it just absolutely explodes, just takes off. Boom, way it goes. Then it comes down. Then look at this point through here, right? It goes almost to the zero line. And then guess what? Boom, within that was December, within a month or two, the market had a big rally up. Now where are we at? We're almost at that zero line again, aren't we? Let me delete it off here and let me actually zoom in on here so you can actually see this. Look at that there. Look where we are right now. Now this is obviously, it went down almost to the zero line, and look at this here. When it went down to almost the zero line, had a bit of a rally, didn't it? Really crazy. Almost zero shorts, and then it just bumped up a little bit, but it's basically still the zero shorts. What do you expect to happen with the market right now? With silver, where we are right now. I'm expecting a pretty big move out of silver. So that's the reason why I bought call options on the SLV, and I bought call options there a few days ago now. Actually, bought call options, and I do believe we're likely to see a pretty big move coming out of silver very shortly because of this. And so therefore, you could see it every single time, right? When all the large traders when they have basically very little short positions on, and saying, hey, we're getting ready to rumble. So there we go, guys. Bit of a market update, and there's a bit of a gift for you guys when it comes to silver. There's no guarantees of silver making a profit, and I must say that, guys, when you are viewing these videos is for educational purposes only. And when I say don't place a trade based on these videos, I mean don't place a trade based on these videos. And trading is not all about making money based on one YouTube video, right? Trading has so much more than successful trading has so much more than involved with that. Okay, don't expect to watch a YouTube video, think something sounds so good, and then go place a trade, and then say I'm misleading people, because I'm not misleading people. Every single video I say, do not place a trade based on this video. Trading is risky. It can cause some. So this is, there's so much that goes into becoming a good trader. I say that on every single video. Why? Because it's so true. Trading's not about taking one trade and it failing. It's like, oh, that call didn't work. That was wrong. It's like, but that's not how you should be viewing the markets. Make sense? So before you place any trades, before you get involved with the markets, before you do anything like that, make sure that you have some sort of a plan of attack. Okay, you're not. It's so important to take a trade based on what you believe in, and take that trade again and again and again and again, right? So for example, I have probably 5% of my trades are things like this. I have a put option right now on the SPY that lasts for a bit over a month and a half. I have some call options on silver. These are what I call what I believe in trades, about 5% of my trades. And then 95% of my trades I strictly stick to my momentum strategy, exactly step by step by step. Very first link in the description, go watch the webinar, and you'll be able to see my momentum strategy. You'll be able to see it full in detail. The momentum strategy absolutely rocks it, and it doesn't matter whether it's the silver market or even on Bitcoin, right? This is the Bitcoin chart that I shared with my private clients just recently. This was an entry just up here. All right, so this was an entry just up here, and look at it, had a bit of a nice run, even if you did wait for it to run on. Again, this is an hourly chart on Bitcoin. You would probably would have brought your stop to break even, maybe even a slight little, probably maybe even a bit of a small profit through there. Market ran down, and there was another entry right here. Boom. As the market ran down, as the market started running down, bought your stop to here, bought your stop to here, bought your stop to here, bought your stop to there. You may or may not have gotten stopped out there. Bought your stop to there, and then as this market rallies back up, you know what I mean? So you can start to scale down on these highs. Lower high, wait for a lower high, wait for a lower high, bring your stop just above it, lower high, and break them back down. Makes sense? So you can do that, or you can scale down a different way. Anyway, as you can see, that this first trade here, probably a small profit. This second trade here would have made a really nice profit, even if you just got into here, even if you just, let me do this here. Again, this is just using momentum strategy. And as you can see on my chart, right, I just have volume, one moving average, and chart. That's all I need. Even if you got into here and you did get stopped out here, you know what I mean, as the market ran up, that's still there. That is still there. What's that? That's still quite a good trade. Remember, this is an hourly chart here, right? So this is probably over say probably over one day that trade lasted there. But that's, as you can see, right, that's what it was. That's how the momentum strategy works. The momentum strategy rocks, kicks ass, rocks, kicks ass. And if you use the momentum strategy, but that's what I'm saying, right? Most of my trades is in line with a plan of attack when I trade in the markets, not just some YouTube video. Hope you have an amazing day, guys. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I'll speak to you guys soon.